Welcome into another edition of the Big Dog Show with Marcedes Lewis. I'm David Kaplan. It's brought to you by our great partners at the Chicagoland and Northwest Indiana Chevy dealers. They are the official truck partner of the Chicago Bears, and Ankin Law, 312-6 million for the great famous attorney, Howard Ankin. All right, Big Dog, not a good day after the Viking game in overtime. 30-27. A great comeback. Caleb had a sensational day, and in the end, just fell short, my guy.
Man, it's I tell you, these last few games, man, it's really working on me, bro. Even after 19 years or 18 and a half seasons so far, like the way we've lost games the last few games, I don't think I've ever had a stretch like that in the way it happened. And it's taken a lot of I'm tapping into my mental fortitude lately and just trying to be positive, obviously. It's tough. I mean, obviously, when you go out there and you play the game to win, right? And you understand that, like, you're not going to win them all. But these last few games, there's been no reason why we couldn't win those games. So I think that's why it hurts more. And on the flip side, you want to kind of take the positive from everything, regardless in victory or defeat. And like you said in the opening, I think Caleb may have played his best game yet, just as far as managing the game and very few mental errors and just going out there and playing relaxed and being him. And it was really good to see. And I think just as an offense, from an operation standpoint, I think we are inching where we want to be. And it sucks that it took weeks to kind of assess what we needed to do to figure that out. But we're here. And, we got a big one on Thursday on Thanksgiving. So we're looking forward to that.
All right, let's welcome in your teammate. He's one of the top 50 receivers in the history of the National Football League. Had a really big day against the Minnesota Vikings. He's also got a great story to tell. He is your friend. He is Keenan Allen, and he joins us now on the Big Dog Show here on our REKAP YouTube channel and the REKAP Network. Keenan, so Marcedes and I were just talking about the tough losses to the Packers, to the Vikings, like games that were right there. You add in a Hail Mary game and the Packer missed field goal, first and goal at the 4 against the Colts. I mean, this team should be a playoff team.
Absolutely. Somebody ain't living right. I'll tell you, somebody ain't living right where it matters most. But yeah, man, just like you guys were just talking about, Caleb. I feel like we're moving in the right direction as far as the offense. The changes that were made mid-season, and I think him just being more comfortable. The offense is doing a pretty good job of managing these games.
Yeah, and just to piggyback on what Keenan said, I feel like it's one of those things, Cap. Like, you can only control what you can control, right? And every day you're out there trying to just in pursuit of like your perfect game. And what I mean by that is like offense, defense, special teams, all of us complementing each other. And then we're going out there and taking care of business, right? Like, obviously we're going to have the games that are tough, where it's a back and forth battle, but the ones that we know that we can win just based on the work we put in. And then number two, the talent that we have on the team. When we go into certain games, we expect to win those games, right? And so far, the games that we expected to win, we found a way to lose those games in so many different ways already. And we're going on week 13 now. And I feel like we've found 5 different ways to lose games that, like,
crazy.
If we just make 2 or 3 more plays, we're a playoff team.
Keenan, I got to ask you, the play on 4th down, the field goal unit's running on. Caleb's waving them off.
Yeah.
Coach Eberflus said, yeah, that's on me. It was communication. And then the throw was a little high for you to be able to catch it. Keenan said, yeah, I didn't actually hear the correct play call from Thomas Brown. Take us from your perspective. What happened on that play? Because you had a big day, as did Caleb.
Yeah. So obviously we didn't get the third down. We're all wanting to go for it. We're all walking on the field. Like nobody on the offensive side is leaving the field. Then you see the kicker, punter, holder, snapper. They're coming on the field. We're like, bro, get off the field, man. What are y'all doing? So y'all get off the field. We get in the huddle. We still don't have a play. So I think Eberflus and Thomas is going back and forth on whether they want to go for it or not. We don't know. So by then, Caleb's headset goes off. So now he has to go on the wristband and think whatever he thought he heard. He calls a play, and it's a run play. We're like, bro, it's 4th and 5. There's no way this is the right play, right? So then we get to the line of scrimmage. We get an alert, which was another bad play because it was the alert from the run play. So then we end up running sticky on 4th and 5. So we tried to make it work. We almost did. The guy was outside leverage. I ended up getting outside leverage back, and yeah, it's just one of those throws we wish he had back. So
It's amazing how little things just start to add up into a loss of a game that you feel like you should have won. Crazy.
Yeah, I mean, and Cap, remember I told you as far as our division how well we match up with our division, right? So like to the outside, it's like, oh, they're gonna get smashed. Or they play the Packers. I'm not even watching that. They're gonna get smashed. And you see what happened. Oh, the Vikings, they're 8-1 or 8-2. This is not gonna be a good game. And you see what happened. Like if there's anything that I could be completely 100% honest with you, bro. Like the confidence that we have every time we step on the field is like sky high, right? Yeah. Just based on the guys that we have on both sides of the ball, we're gonna be in every game. It's just it's a handful of plays that determine, like you just said, whether we're either gonna win this game or lose this game, and you don't even know when those plays are gonna happen. And we've just been finding ways to not secure, what we believe to be winnable games for us.
Yeah.
Well, we'll get back into the Bears for a minute. So, Keenan, I said to Marcedes, do you know where he went to school? He said, yeah, he went to Cal. And I said, well, he did, but he actually was going to go somewhere else and play defense. Tell him where you had committed.
Yeah, I was committed to Alabama.
What?
Yeah, roll tide,
yes.
Roll tide. Hey, I was the #1 safety in the nation, man.
Bro, that's crazy.
Yeah, Nick Saban was thirsty.
Bro, I don't even know if I could picture it, but like based on what I've seen of you since you entered the league and then watching you from afar when you were with the Chargers. And then obviously I was with, Jacksonville. I played you a couple of times when I was with Jacksonville. And just watching you work, I'm just like, definitely one of the most polished route runners that I'd ever seen at that point in time. And then obviously watching Devontae from afar before we played together for 5 years, they're literally mirrors.
Yeah.
They're literally mirrors, Cap. And it's like, it's eerie too. Like it's very like, from a technician standpoint to understanding man and zone and coverages, and they're literally the same people. And so, for me, it's been a joy to kind of like be on the same team as him and see it from his vantage point. Yeah, he's different. Playing safety definitely wouldn't have took the same mental to play. But like Keenan sees the game like a coach, like kind of like this is how it is. And I talked about this before. Like Keenan is a guy that obviously this is the first time we actually like met in person, but like our relationship has grown because of what we do on the field and how we approach our work. And I talk about this all the time. And it sucks, but it is what it is. We as players, you connect to guys that are most like you, right? And like your value is based on how you come to work and what you put on film, right? You want to put the stuff on film that your partner will respect. And this dude, whether it's practice, games, I mean, it's just different, man. It's different. So it's been a joy to watch.
Appreciate that, big dog, for sure.
Keenan, what was it like getting recruited by Nick Saban? Because at one point in my life, I'm like, I don't know about that dude. I interviewed him, and he was surly to deal with. And now I watch this guy, eating a tomahawk steak with Pat McAfee and dressing up on Halloween. I'm like, I'd love to play for that guy. What was that like?
No, it's definitely two personalities we're seeing right now. The guy we see on the Pat McAfee before the college game day, that's not the coach at all. Two different personalities for sure.
Yeah.
He was kind of scary, man. I'm not gonna lie. He was one of those guys where you walk up to him and you don't want to say the wrong thing. You always want to, like, when you approach him, you always want to have like that dog, like, yeah, I'm your guy. Like, I'm the one you can count on for sure. Like, you don't ever want to mess that relationship up. And I think that's the relationship we had. He, family went over to the house. My mom and his wife, they're playing cards.
Miss Terry. Miss
Terry. Cool people.
Wow.
Right. But yeah, man, they were great. They were great to us.
So by my junior year, I probably had like 30 offers.
Yeah.
Most of the teams on the East Coast didn't offer me until my senior year. Alabama did offer me. But I'm definitely a West Coast guy. So like, if I didn't go to UCLA, I probably would have went to Miami, because at that time it was like Jeremy Shockey, Kellen Winslow. Like, I was like, yeah, like, I need to be in that pipeline.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
Retro Miami was crazy.
Come on, man. And but I don't know. I just never. I knew Alabama was real. Like, but I just like, man, I don't know if I'll fit in Alabama. I'm too West Coast.
I didn't fit in at all. I didn't fit into the locker room at all. We talking about stone cold killers. Like, these guys is super country. I'm from the country, but I ain't super country though.
Right.
I'm kind of a city boy, but I live, in those neighborhoods to where, I can blend in and kind of adjust to any situations, which is why, Cal kind of worked out for me as well. But that Alabama locker room was like, got some dogs in there, bro. You better come in there correct, like,
Right.
or they gonna try you and really take your cornbread.
That was crazy. So what was your top three?
My top three. So I was committed to Alabama, Clemson. That was right before they went on their tear with they had Taj Boyd at quarterback. And my three was Oregon.
Wow.
And
I could have saw that, bro.
The year I wanted to go to Oregon. I wanted to go to Oregon. It was like it was not even a decision for me. My peoples wanted me to go to Alabama just because they know it's Alabama. You're gonna be 3 years in, you're gonna be a number one draft pick just off the strength of it being Alabama.
Right.
I'm like, nah, I'm trying to go to Oregon and wear these uniforms. I'm not even gonna lie to you. But that's why they didn't want me to go to Oregon, because they're like, no, you're just going for the uniforms. I'm like, bro, they good though. Next year they go play Auburn in the national championship, and I'm like, bro, I told y'all,
bro.
Crazy. Now I'm over here at Berkeley. We look crazy.
Struggling, bro. I could literally see you in Oregon.
Nah, for real.
Just based on like how much you catch the ball and how efficient you are.
Oh, Chip Kelly would have had me all over the place.
Bro, that would have been different, bro.
Man, that's when they had Michael James, Darren Thomas, Jeff Mayo at receiver. Oh, they had some boys. They had some boys.
Nah, that would have been crazy.
Yeah.
So, Keenan, Tommy Waddle is a former Bears receiver. He works in the media now. He works here on this channel as well as at ESPN 1000, the home of the Bears. And when you were acquired by the Bears, he said, best route runner in the National Football League. Yeah. And he studies it. Like, I remember the Bears drafted some kid, Joaquin Iglesias from Oklahoma, in the 3rd round. We went up to training camp. The kid's a rookie. We're 5 minutes into the first practice. He goes, dude can't play. They ended up having to cut him the next year. Like, he's a tactician, like savant. And he watches you and he goes, dude, the best route runner I've ever seen. He also likes Devontae Adams, but like, where did you learn to be so precise with the tree and with how you run and take care of your business?
Yeah, I just think it starts with just going back to my career of playing football. I was a running back, all the way up until 11th grade. So, and I was pretty good. I was pretty good at running back. That's kind of where I got all my clout, from recruitment and stuff. So I think just being able to, use my moves and make guys miss, being able to get to the green grass. And then my brother was quarterback. So knowing his knowledge from the quarterback position, knowing how to make guys miss, once I was able to learn the receiver position, and we always ran the route tree just because my brother was the quarterback, so we had to run the routes for him. But once I was able to learn the route tree, and Nick Sirianni was my coach as a rookie. He was the assistant coach, so I was pretty much with him the whole time, and just going over coverages, leverages, how to beat every coverage you can get versus a slant. We would watch it, and if we're going over like Wes Welker, we're only watching top route runners. So it's Wes Welker, Chad Johnson, Andre Johnson, only dog. Stevie Johnson was my favorite. Watch Stevie Johnson, Brandon Lloyd. Not too many people know about
Brandon Lloyd from the University of Illinois.
No, that's a great comp, bro. Because this is what
crazy.
I would watch him obviously on film, but then my first Pro Bowl, Brandon Lloyd was there.
Yeah,
he was in the Pro Bowl too. And you know how the Pro Bowl is, bro. You're not really going hard.
Now you chilling.
But in practice, just how smooth he is.
His movements, huh?
He's just a different type of athlete, bro.
Nasty.
And like naturally catching the ball with one hand, like in position that you wouldn't even think you could catch the ball with one hand, Cap. He's catching the ball with one hand, just smooth. Like he was different. So that's a great comp.
He might have the best body control ever.
No doubt.
Ever. Like it was crazy.
Didn't he go to Illinois?
Did he go? I don't know where he went to college.
I think so.
Yeah, I think he played at the University of Illinois back when they were paying before people got paid. Yeah, 100%.
We ain't gonna reopen those.
So let me ask you guys, as you watch Caleb play, everybody says, oh my God, we got Caleb Williams. I thought his game against the Vikings and I thought his game against the Jaguars were the two best games that he played. What are you guys seeing from Caleb? And it seems like he's connected with Thomas Brown.
Here, I'll start it off. I think that TB has been really good for Caleb just from a communication standpoint. And this is coming directly from Caleb, right? And whatever it is about TB is, whether it's his communication style, his demeanor, whatever that is connecting with Caleb. And that's very important. And like, think about just from an organizational standpoint. I draft a guy number 1 overall, bring him in. The next person that's most important for his career is going to be what? The offensive coordinator, right? And so obviously we saw what happened a few weeks ago, let go of Shane, and you don't know what's going to happen. And then TB steps in and he just does a really great job of like kind of making the game smaller for Caleb in a way that he understands it, and also letting Caleb be Caleb, right? And I just think he's done a really good job. Both of them have done a really good job. And you know, when they made TB the offensive coordinator, Caleb kind of stood up, apologized for, you know, just different things that may have happened within the games leading up to that point where Shane got released, and then kind of was like, hey, obviously, TB is going to be the new OC. I just want you to know we're on the same page. This is what's going to happen. I'm apologizing and taking accountability for my part and whatever, you know, happened as far as with Shane, but we're going forward. This is what it's going to look like. And he's been a true professional. TB has stepped in, obviously a professional. And I think in that moment, receivers, tight ends, running backs, O-line, everybody understands that, like, hey, in order for Caleb to be his best, we got to raise our game, right? And I think everybody is doing that 1% a day. And what you saw last Sunday is the future, man. Like, I'm very impressed.
Yeah, I agree 100%. I think when the change was made, the negotiation from the offensive coordinator and the quarterback changed to where Shane would kind of listen to Caleb, and Caleb used to do it like this in college, but this ain't college no more. We can't do that.
We're not playing Nevada.
We can't. Yeah, we can't play those games anymore. So I think Thomas knowing the game, Coach Beatty knowing the game, and knowing how it's supposed to be done, they kind of took the initiative and Caleb, let's do it this way versus I'll let you do it your way. Take all that out of it. This is how the play is supposed to be ran. This is where the first look goes. You go here. If you go, so it's DJ, Keenan. If those two ain't open, then you can run. Vice versa, Keenan, DJ, and then you got Cole, DJ. Like however the read is, that's the read. Don't misconstrue that read, because when Shane was the OC, his eyes were off. You know what I'm saying? He didn't know which way to look. He didn't really understand the play calls. Now I think they have a pretty good understanding of what both the play is being called and Caleb understanding, when it's being called. So it's pretty good.
So Marcedes and Keenan, I'd love to get your guys' perspective. I'm a former college basketball coach, and then I scouted in the NBA for 4 years. And I remember Jeff Van Gundy saying to me, look, when you're a high school coach, even college, you could do whatever you want because you're the boss. But he said, when you get to the pros, you got to coach guys hard because truly great players crave discipline, but you cannot demean them personally. He goes, you could say, God damn it, Marcedes, would you set the edge or set your block? And he'll respond. But if you demean him in that way, or Keenan, you're going to lose guys. So when you guys say, coach me hard, what does it mean from a professional football player's perspective?
So when I say coach me hard, that means that it doesn't necessarily mean raise your voice or curse or anything like that. It just means if you see something on film that needs to be coached up, regardless of me being in year 2 or year 19, coach me up, right? And if you're going to coach something in defeat, coach that same thing in victory, right? That's what I mean by that. Like, just be consistent. That's it. Like, it doesn't. We're in the NFL. Like, this is not Pop Warner, so it's not this. It's a collaborative effort. Like, you can't. I feel like dudes. And we talked about this. You're either a dude or you're just a guy. And the league has dudes and just guys, right? The difference between those two is the dudes, you can coach like that. And like the guys that are just like there, because it is, let's just be honest, it just is what it is. There's different ways to kind of coach them. Sometimes you got to coach through the dude to get to the guy.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? Because we could take that shit. And so that's all I'm saying. Like, has nothing to do with like cursing or doing that. It's just like, yo, if this is the standard, this is the standard. Whether we win or lose the game, Mercedes, your feet were terrible right here. Or you missed with your right hand in this block. Like, this has to be better. Like, just stuff like that. What would you say, Keenan?
No, I think this that I like that a lot. One of my biggest things is just hold me accountable. Like, if I'm messing up, you gotta let me know. In front of the group, whatever it is, you can come pull me aside. Hey, Keenan, I'm probably gonna call you out in this meeting type joint. Yeah, that's cool. No problem. I know I messed up, but you got to tell me I messed up though. Otherwise, I'm gonna think it's okay. You know what I'm saying? And that's a professional though. A real professional wants to be held accountable versus beating around the bush. And you got those guys like you know who we talking about. He gonna beat around the bush and he gonna, nah, coach, I thought I could have did this, or I thought I did that. I'm like, nah, we ain't trying to hear that. We don't need a response. Like, early. So just to bring Caleb back up, early in the season, every time you tell Caleb something, it's a response. Like, I don't want a response. Okay, I'm doing it like this. We don't need a response. I'm going to do it like this. This is how we're going to get it done. And that's the things you got to learn as a professional.
Yeah, no, I agree, and I think the other component to that too is like, the dudes are going to hold the other dudes accountable too. And that's why the coaches don't have to coach the dudes up so often. You get what I'm saying?
Correct.
Like, if we're at practice and whether it's me or Keenan or DJ or, you know what I mean? Like, we'll be like, oh, we got to be better right here. Or in the huddle coming back from a play, if me and Keenan, if we're in like a bunch formation and Keenan's on the outside of the bunch, you got Cole setting the point and then me on the inside of the bunch, and we're combination blocking, and like if Keenan misses it, or if I don't give him enough of a lever board so he can take over, and it's like a backside run, we'll talk to each other on the way to the huddle. Like, okay, I'll do this better next time. Yeah. Or, you know what I mean? Just that communication sometimes, and like that's part of being a professional. If you do something in practice, like my coach don't really have to coach me, because I already know what the hell's going on. When I'm walking back to the huddle, I'm like, I bet that wasn't it. You know what I mean? Like, I don't need the film to tell me that I didn't take a good first step and my second step was too slow and I allowed penetration on the run play. I don't need him to tell me that. And so, like, that's when you know you're taking it to a different level, when you walk back to your coach and before he even opens his mouth, you're giving the coaching points and all your coach got to do is this. All right, next.
Yep.
You know?
I heard Belichick speaking recently, and he said, look, I don't go in the locker room. That's their domain. He said, because I make sure I have enough veteran players. They'll police anything going on in there. He said, if it gets to my desk, we got a way bigger issue than I want to have to deal with. Is that fair?
Oh, absolutely. 100%.
Yeah, I mean, I honestly think, like, the guys that we have in our locker room, top to bottom, the guys that are looked at as leaders, regardless of age, it's a great collective. Like, we have a good group in that locker room, and we've lost, what is that? Is this 5 in a row now?
Yep.
And the energy going into the building is still good.
It doesn't feel like 5 in a row.
No, like, the energy's still good, and that's how you know that you have a good culture, right? Because think about this. You lose 5 in a row. You got a quick turnaround. We're about to play on Thursday night or Thursday afternoon and potentially don't have a shot to make it to the playoffs against a team that is probably going to be in the Super Bowl, right? That's more than enough reasons for you to turn it in and start figuring out what you're going to do in the offseason, right? But, like, we're not even thinking about that, and we're just keeping the main thing and being professionals about it. We have a game on Thursday, divisional opponent that we match up really well with, and we're going to give them hell because that's just how we are, and we're professionals, and the guys that are leading, that's what we're thinking about. And so, you know, I think you hit it right on the nose. I think that we have an opportunity to do something really, really good in front of the world because that's everybody's going to be watching.
Yep.
And we're looking forward to it.
Keenan, how you like in Chicago? Favorite restaurants? Are you a deep dish pizza guy, a thin crust pizza guy? What are you?
Big thin crust pizza guy. I gotta watch my little figure over here, so the deep dish I can't really dive into.
Have you had it? Have you ever tried it?
No, I have. So when I first got out here, we went to a Cubs game. After the Cubs game, we went and got a little deep dish pizza. Fire. It was fire.
Yeah,
had to stay away from it ever since then, though. Gotta stay
Once
away.
the season's over, you can have a little.
I probably won't. You know, the figure is huge, so you gotta stay down to keep it down. Once you take off, it gets to bad areas.
Yeah,
get there.
Once he's gonna be moving the tight end, messing with you.
Yeah. We don't want to do that. It's too much blocking and G schemes, and I'm cool and all that.
How long do you want to keep playing? You got a guy up there in Big Dog who we've gotten to know him super well, and I just think he's awesome.
Yeah.
19 freaking years.
Hey, I don't know how he does it. I still don't know how he does it. I don't know how he's doing it. At this point, I've already told him, I'm like, bro, I got like 2, 3 more. And I might have to hang him up. But I think for me, you got to ride it until it's, the wheels fall off. As long as I can keep doing what I'm doing, making plays, being able to get separation. Obviously, the camaraderie with the guys that's the hardest part to leave, and just being able to play the game that you love. You grew up playing. I haven't did anything else my whole life, so I don't feel like doing nothing else either.
Thanks.
Have you thought about where you'll be next year? Your contract's up. Have you talked with Ryan Poles at all? Because, boy, that's a pretty good threesome of you, Rome, and DJ.
Yeah, no doubt. Haven't talked to him at all. Haven't talked to the agent about any of that. I don't think he's in a conversation with Ryan right now. Just trying to figure out the rest of this season, and we'll see where it goes.
They would. What is it? It would behoove them.
Yes.
to do what's right.
Yeah.
And I don't think, even from Rome's perspective and Caleb's point of view as well, like, you and DJ, It don't get better than that.
Yeah.
And yeah, man, it just doesn't get better than that. And so, hopefully I sign on in my 20th, and then I can ride off into the sunset, and then they re-sign Keenan for 2 years, and then we out.
No doubt. I will say this. I'm not playing in Chicago or I'm back to LA. We ain't going to it.
Right, we're not going to see you playing like for the Giants.
Nah. Definitely not the Giants.
Well, hey, man, we really appreciate you taking time. Big Dog has just been a natural at doing this.
Oh, yeah.
And he said, we got to get Keenan Allen on. And I was like, all in, man. Love that dude.
For sure, man. I appreciate you guys having me again. Definitely.
You got it.
Man.
I'll be back for sure.
Appreciate you, bro.
All the best to your family.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you.
Appreciate you, bro.
That guy's something special.
My guy, man.
He's super cool.
Yeah, he's one of those guys too, like obviously on the East Coast, but more like country, obviously. But like he has like a West Coast kind of energy to him, and like obviously playing with the Chargers, and I always tease him. I'm like, bro, like I just feel like you were born on the West Coast, you went to Cal, and then you just played for the Chargers. Like I would have never thought that, his family is in Carolina. Like I just would have never thought that. And we connect on so many different levels. Next time when we have him on, he can sing too.
Really?
Yeah. Like I'll send you. I got some music from him. I'll send you a couple songs, but he can sing too. Like one of our favorite things we like to do is just go to DJ House for Thursday night football, order food, and do karaoke. We got like a karaoke machine, and then me and him would be doing duets.
Oh, that's tremendous.
It's hilarious, but yeah, nah. All that aside, I mean, he's one of the hardest workers that I've ever been around, and once you're around him, you can see why he's been doing it for, at a high level for a long time.
At a super high level. Before we let you go, your favorite Thanksgiving food?
Ooh, my favorite Thanksgiving food. I'm not really a turkey guy, but
it's same here. It's the most overrated food there is.
Overrated, bro. I'm not really a turkey guy, but I've had deep fried turkey.
Never have.
Oh man, when I say moist and just like so good. But I'm a ham guy.
Uh-huh.
I love a honey ham.
Yeah.
With the maple glaze and the pineapples and all of that. But if I had to choose one, it would probably be peach cobbler.
Peach cobbler's pretty. My wife makes an amazing. My wife's an incredible cook.
So peach cobbler is where it is, man.
Yeah, my wife can absolutely flat out cook and makes everything from scratch. So beef tenderloin, and so there'll be turkey, obviously.
Yeah,
I think she's gonna have a peach cobbler, so I got to get you some.
Yeah, man. I feel like the turkey is just like a prerequisite. Like what? You just have to have that? It's just like bro, how about we just do like chicken? Let's just bake a chicken or Cornish game hens. Like, you know what I mean? Give me a Cornish game hen and we'll be good, We
went and bought a tenderloin. It's like that big.
Oh my gosh.
It's delicious. So absolutely.
That's good, man.
Well, we're thankful for you, and here's hoping you go shock the world in Detroit.
I appreciate you, man. Thank you, brother. I'm thankful for you.
Appreciate you. That is another episode of The Big Dog Show with Marcedes Lewis. I'm Cap. It's a REKAP production. Happy Thanksgiving to everybody, and we'll talk to you next week.
Happy Turkey Day.